Hello, music lovers and conversationalists. Welcome to the channel and welcome to 5 must have blues rock albums for the first half of 2024. It's hard to believe that 2024 is half over, and it's amazing how much music has been released within the blues and blues rock um, genre, if you will. I have so far 12 albums that I've picked up just in the blues rock genre alone. They are all very good artists. Many of you have seen them on my channel before. Some of them that you'll see today are the first time that you've seen them, and some are repeats. But this particular list of 5 was tough to make. I'm going to do a part 2, I think, that were the runners up, if you will, that were excellent albums, but just didn't make the top 5 cut. But overall, every album that I've purchased so far, I've really been impressed with. And this is really shaping up to be one of the best years for blues rock fans in recent memory. You've had Mike Cito released an album earlier this year, Walter Trout. You've had Joanne Shaw Taylor release a new album this year, and there's so many more to come. Albert Castiglia will be releasing a new album next month in July, and then you'll have Selwyn Birchwood, who is an excellent Florida blues man, singer-songwriter, guitarist. He's got a new album coming out, a side project, if you will, in August, and then just breaking from what I saw the other day on Facebook. My favorite, one of my favorite blues singers, Vanessa Collier, will be releasing a new album later in the year, as will Shamika Copeland. So lots of good stuff coming your way. I'm going to have a couple of videos where I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on a couple of singles that are coming up for some upcoming albums. And I hope that you'll check out the songs. If I can find links for them, and I'm sure I'll be able to. So without any further delay, I have, as I said, a list of 5 must-have blues rock albums, if you will, for the first half of 2024. And I think what I'll do at the end of the year is make a list of my top 5 again and see if it's changed. But without any further delay, the first album I have for you is by a band called Frankie Boy and the Blues Express. They are a New Hampshire powerhouse blues band who I had the opportunity to see back in May, I think it was, and they were a phenomenal show. They had, usually the core of the band is 3 or 4 members, but they had about a total of 4 or 5 guests sit in with them throughout the course of the night, and this is their most recent release. This is an excellent album. It's called Young Man's Blues. A little more about Frankie Boy and the Blues Express. I have a couple of notes here. As I said, they're a powerhouse blues band from New Hampshire. They represented New Hampshire in the International Blues Challenge down in Memphis a couple of years back, in 2020, and again last year in 2023. They played a lot of shows with the late great guitar Luther Jr. Johnson, who I've had the privilege of seeing a couple of times in the past, and what a talent he was. One of the best electric blues guitarist you'll ever hear, and sadly we lost him in December of 23, I believe it was. And they really pay tribute to Luther, and the opening track, which is one of the 3 tracks from this album that I'm showcasing here, is called Guitar Junior. It's really a nice, touching tribute to the man Luther Jr. Johnson, who played and mentored Frankie Boy and the Blues Express. They were his backup band for many years, and he really showed them the ropes, and they always pay tribute to him in different shows and keep his legacy going. This is the track listing here on the back. This is such a jam-packed album of about, let's see, 14 tracks for your musical enjoyment. The next song off of the list is one that I really enjoyed called Talking About Soul. This is the 7th track of the album, and it's a really nice contrast to the biographical type / autobiographical type song Guitar Jr. Obviously, this song Talking About Soul is probably the most funky and soulful tune on the album. It just really rocks and will get you grooving on the dance floor in no time. And the last tune that really stood out to me is a song called Flippin' and Floppin'. Just a classic jump blues type of song that really will knock your socks off. And if you're in a bad mood or had a bad day, this will really pick you up. And really, if you've been in a good mood all day, it'll really enhance your spirits as well. So there's nothing that this song can't fix. So check out from Young Man's Blues by Frankie Boy and the Blues Express. Check out the songs Guitar Jr., Talking About Soul, and Flippin' and Floppin'. Staying with the New England theme for a bit, this next artist is one that I saw again a couple of months ago up in New Hampshire at the Tupelo Music Hall in Derry. And this particular band I've seen twice now, and they don't disappoint. They are just such a hard rocking band. They're a mixture of Texas musicians and New England musicians, led by Nick David on the lead vocalist and also on harmonica. And this album is just, it would have been ranked higher, but there were a couple of other albums that beat them out just by this much. But it's called The Wicked Lowdown, and this is the latest album off of the Gulf Coast Records label owned by Mike Zito, and the album is called Out of Line. Again, this album has so many great songs on here that are worthy of multiple replays. This is one that definitely should be on your list. The songs that stood out to me the most on here are, in no particular order, Marching On, which is the second song off of the album. Marching On is just a high-octane album, a song, I should say, that really captures how we should slow down, not take our time here on Earth for granted, and really appreciate what we have around us, whether it's family or friends or loved ones. Just a killer live song. It really got people up and moving and having a good time taking in the song, and just really, this song really blew the roof off the place. Next up we have the one instrumental on here called Vanna B. I usually try to include the instrumental on here for an album, and sometimes we're lucky and we get two of them. We get to hear a contrast of how the band sounds without any vocalist, and it's really nice to hear how tight the band sounded, just really jamming and having a good time, and how tight the band sounded and just the chemistry between all the musicians. Vanna B really showcases what the Wicked Lowdown has, and it's something special. So check out Vanna B. And next is the final track. The final track on the album called I Just Can't Stand It, or I Just Can't Make It, I should say. Sorry about that. This is just a song that I think we can all relate to, whatever we're going through in our personal lives. And this song will help lift you up and give you a boost of positivity. I think that's at least what I took away from the song. But this is coming in at number 4, Out of Line by Wicked Lowdown. And this is off of the Gulf Coast Records label. I will be getting this on vinyl, and this will be, along with Frankie Boy and the Blues Express, I will be doing a Friday Firsts probably starting back up in July, so stay tuned for that. This one is one that I did a Friday First for. Speaking of Friday Firsts, this one is an album that I picked up online and also brought to the show to get autographed from one of the hidden gems in the blues world, so to speak. But he's really exploded on the scene over the last handful of years, and prior to that, he's been touring and playing in the Midwest a lot, I believe, for over 25 years, and his name is Kevin Burt. He is another artist on the Gulf Coast Records label, and they just keep cranking out some excellent albums from really talented musicians, and Kevin Burt is one of those. I had the privilege of sitting front row center and seeing him at the Bull Run Restaurant in Shirley, Mass., and he signed the album after the show. This is all songs from Bill Withers, and I'm just happy to have this here. This is just a phenomenal album to have in your collection, and I want to make sure that I get everything correct on the dates and the songs here. Been a little rusty on recording since I made a video in about a month, but the track listings here, there's just so many great tunes on here, and this really was an educational journey from me on learning about Bill Withers and his music. Of course, you have songs on here, Just the Two of Us, Ain't No Sunshine, Lean on Me. Unfortunately, he didn't do Lean on Me live, which would have been cool to hear, but the three songs that stood out to me off of this album are World Keep Going Round, which he did do. I think it was kind of in the middle of the set list. I'm not sure, but it was a great song. Let Us Love, and what a song title for this day and age, when there just seems to be so much negativity and bad news and whatnot in the world. Let Us Love is just one of those songs that I think we can all stop and take a listen to. And another Data Run, which is probably my favorite song off of the album, just a killer track, and really showcases the talent that Kevin Burt has as a vocalist. So once again, here are the tracks on here. And I do have some vinyl to show us for the top 5. And this is Thank You Brother Bill. This may be one of my top 2 albums when all is said and done at the end of the year, but we got a ways to go for that. So Thank You Brother Bill from Kevin Burt and Gulf Coast Records. Next up, we come down to 2. And this was a tough call on the top 2 because one artist is very near and dear to me, and I'll explain in a minute. But the second of the top 2 albums for the 5 must-have in 2024, first half of 2024, I should say, is a tribute double album, if you will, from Bernard Allison. And if you're wondering, Bernard Allison, why does that name sound familiar? Well, Bernard Allison just so happens to be, for those of you who don't know or may have forgotten, is the son of the late legendary Luther Allison. And Luther Allison is one of my all-time favorite blues musicians and all-time favorite singers and guitarists. And this is Luther's Blues. It's a double disc album, jam-packed of some of the best album songs that Luther plays, and this is really a labor of love, if you will. Here's the track listings, and I also got some guitar picks there from Bernard when he sent it. And what I really like about this is each song you can feel the love that he has for his father and his father's music. What I liked about reading on this album was that anytime that he plays a show or records an album, he usually tries to include a a couple of Luther's songs in the set or on an album, and that was a promise he made to his mother. And it's just an extraordinary album overall. It's definitely one of my favorites of Bernard's, and one that I'm glad that I have, and one that I'm going to enjoy listening to for years to come. The top songs. Here, hold on a second. The top songs that I could really gravitated towards are, and I tried to have a little bit of contrast here. The Midnight Creeper, which I think is an excellent song, a great party song. It'll definitely make you feel good from your heels to your toes. And by the end of the song, you'll probably have burnt a hole in your shoes from dancing so fast and just having a great time. And this has an excellent horn section and really adds to the overall feel of the song. Just a great feel-good song, if you will, and probably the feel-good song of the album. And there's a lot of great songs on there, but it's just such a top-notch tune. Another song that really showcases Bernard's style of guitar playing and how much he learned from his father and a lot of other Chicago blues musicians when he was growing up is a song called Life's a Bitch. And this title, I think, as well as the message of the song, is one that we can all relate to. We all go through tough times and difficult times, and we feel like life really has it out for us. And this is one of those songs that really showcases that message, and also is really a great song for Bernard's style of playing, and one that I instantly connected with just because it's such a unique style of his playing on this particular song. And last but not least, this is another song that's a good contrast to Midnight Creeper and Life's a Bitch, and that is Let's Try Again. What I really liked about this is that with Life's a Bitch, we get to hear more of Bernard's style of guitar playing, the grittiness, the real bluesy sound. But Let's Try Again is more of a sentimental, somber mood, if you will, a melancholy type song of a love lost and wanting to try start over, if you will, have a second chance, and see if they can make it work that time around. And it really just has a nice, smooth sound in Bernard's singing, and I think his father Luther would really like the way that this one was done. And that brings us to the number one album for 2021, and I will be doing a in-depth review of this when I get the actual studio version, or the studio album I should say, the non-test pressing to be more exact, in the next few weeks. I think it's like the first week or second week in July when I should get this on vinyl and CD. This is a new album, first album in 6 years, from a really good friend of mine, one of the best blues and boogie woogie players in the country, probably the world too. She is known as Little Boogaloo, and she is the student of the late Boogaloo Ames from Mississippi, and I'm talking about my dear friend Eden Brent. And this is, I don't know how well you can see it here, but an autographed copy of a test pressing that I received. This is called Gateway Blues. This is her first album in 6 years. And I'm just so thrilled to have her back recording and making music. And this is just an excellent album. It's got some of the best blues and boogie woogie on the piano that I have seen in a heard in a long time. Eden is just such an amazing talent. I had the privilege of going to see her um, at the Blues Music Awards and sitting with her at her table in 2012. And I do have, where is it? Hold on one second. I do have the lanyard from the table that I sat at with her for the 2012 Blues Music Awards. She was nominated for it, but unfortunately did not win the 2012 Pinetop Perkins Piano Blues Award. And there's the back of it. But back to Gateway Blues. Gateway Blues is jam-packed with some great original tunes from Eden. It was produced by her husband, Bob Dowell, who also plays on the album. I believe he plays bass guitar. And this album is just something that I've been waiting for a long time, and I'm glad to see her back in the saddle, if you will, recording, and hopefully I'll get to see her play as the months go by, and she'll be coming up this way to the Boston area. But what a talent she is, and just a great person. As I said, there's so many great songs on here, and the 4 songs that I picked for this album are the title track, which is Gateway Blues, just a great way that you can see and hear Eden play, and just showcases her talent as a piano player. And there'll be no doubt in your mind when you hear this album the talent that she has, and really she's just taken her talent and her piano playing and vocals to a whole nother level on this album. Gateway Blues is just a fun rockin' tune to lead things off. Next is a song, I believe it's the second song on the album, called Watch the World Go By. What I really like about this one is it's a great comparison to the first one, which is more high octane and energetic than the second one. The second song off of the album is called, as I said, Watch the World Go By, and it is just a real slow, lazy kind of blues day kind of song that you're just going to want to listen to on a Sunday morning or something like that when you're having your coffee or your tea and just want to relax and listen to something smooth and laid back. Watch the World Go By is the one to listen to. Another one is called Rust. I just really like the way that her piano skills and her vocals come together and just create this awesome song that will really pique the listener's interests. Rust is one of the last songs on the album. And speaking of the last song on the album, this one is a fun song with a lot of hidden meanings, if you will, in the lyrics. It's called Gas Pumpin' Man. And this is just a fantastic song, a classic type of a song that Eden does, and it closes out the album, and it's just gonna leave you breathless after listening to this album. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be doing an in-depth review on Eden's album when I get the actual final studio albums in the mail. So look forward to that. Thank you so much for this long-winded video, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be putting up more videos and look forward to hearing what you have to say on the comments, and hope you're all doing well. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.